Ralph Devlin, welcome.
Thank you. Pleased to be here, Donna.
Tell me about your early years.
I grew up in Chermside at the end of the tram terminus of a father who served in the Second World War and barely survived it, and a mother who actually, as a very young person, taught through the Second World War. And so our family was, you'd have to say, lower middle class, but my parents sacrificed a lot to send us all to private Catholic schools.
Did you know you were going to get into the legal area when you were at school, or when did that bug hit you?
Yeah, good question. Look, towards the end of my schooling at Gregory Terrace, I realised that what I wanted to do was the humanities, and I was very comfortable with public speaking. I was in the debating team and so on. And a grandfather of mine was a very prominent Labor lawyer in Brisbane back in the 30s, but died young. So, yeah, you'd say it was in my blood, probably.
All right, religion has obviously been in your blood all the way through too?
I was raised by a very classic Irish Catholic mum. So, yes. And my wife Frances and I raised our children in the Catholic tradition. Whilst they were growing up, I probably spent 30 years as the church choir conductor at one church or another, which I was ill-equipped to do, but they were great people, and I got quite a love of liturgical music over that time.
All right, you talked about, always wanting to be in that legal area when you left school. You were in the Fitzgerald Inquiry.
So there was a QC, and then I was his junior, assisting Mr. Fitzgerald. So that required me to go out in the field with a team and do lawyer-like investigations, or to direct police to make inquiries in certain areas. So my team did all of country Queensland north of the Brisbane River, and it was an exciting couple of years, I can assure you.
And was it hard at the beginning?
Oh, everyone was paranoid. And Mr. Fitzgerald and Mr. Crook, the QC, had round-the-clock guard. I was newly married and I had nothing.
Did you feel scared at all?
At times, but nothing happened.
In your job, how do you handle, and you must have seen this on numerous occasions, the evil side of life?
As a criminal lawyer, you get a bit used to seeing people who have made awful mistakes. Some of those make them again and again and again, so they're of the criminal disposition. Others make one bad mistake in their life that ruins their life and probably the life of, well, no doubt, the life of their victim. So I was a criminal lawyer working even as a clerk as soon as I left school. So I guess I got a bit used to dealing with people who had made big mistakes, or right up to people who were sociopathic or psychopathic in the way they approached life. Some people would say I'm a little bit inured to that, but it also teaches me to be tolerant, because I've rarely met a client I haven't found some reason to like for some quality that they had.
All right, you've also had a duty in life where you've really given yourself on a volunteer level. You've been heavily involved with the surf lifesaving movement, but you just are out there, you're like an Energizer battery, you keep just going.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, but I was introduced to surf lifesaving by my dear old dad. He was a lifesaver from the 30s, interrupted by war, of course. But he started life as a lifesaver in the 30s in Maroubra in Sydney.
Right.
He was a Sydney boy.
Yeah.
Married a Queensland girl, my mother, and rejoined after the war at Surfers Paradise. So that's where my passion for surf lifesaving began, with my father. But when I left school, that was the first thing I did, was join a surf club, and I ended up as the state president and the national deputy president, and that's a career of which I'm very proud, and I still contribute at my club at Maroochydore, and I love every minute of it.
We talked about the surf, the legal, the QC, the singer Ralph Devlin. Tell us about the singer Ralph Devlin.
I owe a lot to St Joseph's College, Gregory Terrace. One of my earliest mentors outside of my own family was a wonderful musician called Eunice Wilkes, and in no time flat, because she was so good at what she did and I adored her, I was a prize-winning boy soprano. I was never defeated, and then began just a love of singing and of music generally. And I have a group called the Tatty Tenors, and we have travelled all around Australia, all fellows my own age. We met in the church choir at Mater Dei, and we've been 21 years singing together, and we sing popular songs and bring a lot of joy to people.
Okay, you have 5 children.
Yes.
How have they been with their faith? You said that you brought them up to have their faith. How has that lasted with them?
I think every one of them is a very good person. I'm satisfied that the Catholic faith and the Catholic culture taught them a lot about the best parts of Jesus' life, that he reached out to people, he upheld women against the current culture, and those sorts of things informed me, and I believe informed my children. So I'm very proud of that.
And I'll see you at church on Sunday.
Absolutely, amen to that.